Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of MSHL Weekly. I'm Navi, your MSHL LC, and we have Antsy-HZ here back for another podcast episode. Antsy, how are you doing?
Don't worry about it.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about MSHL Season 9. So
It's still going.
It's still happening. Somehow. We have two MSHL seasons happening concurrently. Which is amazing. Has that ever been done? I don't think so. I think we're making history.
I'm pretty sure that's not been done.
MSHL Season 9 Finals, Game 2. What did you think about it?
It was an absolute defensive slog the entire way through. Final score in this one, a riveting 1-0 in favor of Zamboni Zombies.
Yeah, I remember we were talking about it.
If you just saw the score line, you might think for a moment, did PieRats forfeit?
I remember we were there and we were talking about the game, and you were saying, I said, there's no way that it ends in a 1-0. Like, there was no way that the game would end that way. There was going to be another goal. Well, I was wrong.
Yeah, having played Zamboni Zombies a few times, I know they are perfectly capable of just keeping it a low-scoring, grinded-out affair. But it's strange to see it happen against PieRats. And the way that they scored the goal, too, was kind of strange, because the puck was at the low post, Linux was down there on the puck carrier, and Six Smoke was blocking the high-angle shot. A pass goes up just in front of him, and Six Smoke just barely misses the check on Scuzzy, and then Scuzzy buries it.
Right. And I remember Linux hesitated for a split second to go up because I think he trusted his defenders to block that, passing lane. And unfortunately, it didn't work out. So
the goalie defender relationship, it's like just doing the trust fall over and over and over for 36 minutes.
Yes. And at one point, they're not going to be there to save you, to help you. So
just thinking ahead to what PieRats can do in the game after this one. Like, they were getting occasional chances with Randall and Chaotic up front. I don't know what was happening, but it seemed like Chaotic and Randall just were not in sync for this game.
Right.
There were passes that were off, shots that were wider than they usually were. And then on the back end, we noted that PieRats had the 2 Warbird, 3 Spider line the entire game. And they were going through the first period, nothing going on offense. Second period, nothing going on offense. They're actually being outpossessed, like notably outpossessed by Zamboni Zombies. And I'm thinking, well, if they do have a sub, they could have that person register a different ship and then try to change the dynamic of it. And then they don't. They just have another person come in a Spider.
Interesting.
And it didn't work.
Yeah, it's like they were going for their usual lineup, which worked in Game 1, I believe. But in Game 2, they just needed a little more offensive push. And like you said, Chaotic and Randall were not connecting in a lot of those plays. I don't know why. Like, it was just an off night or what. But yeah, they were not understanding each other at all.
Now, do you think they changed that up at all for Game 3? Because there are people on their team capable of playing other ships. Like, we know Randall can play Terrier, Raw can play Leviathan.
I don't know.
It's something to at least consider.
Yeah, I don't really know. It's been working fine for them. It was just like an off night. So if it still doesn't work out in Game 3, like let's say the first period, they try it out again, and it's not working, I think they're going to switch up their lineup. I don't know to what. Like you said, Randall can play Terror, and like, he's been doing fine as Warbird. So, like, I don't know if the switch is Randall to Terrier, necessarily, but something has to change, because, Zamboni Zombies, once they get a lead, it's very difficult for them to let go of it. I think the best strategy for PieRats for the next game is to not allow Zamboni Zombies to take the lead early on. That is the worst thing they could do.
You know who else knows how to play Terrier on PieRats? Linux.
Oh, really?
If you really want to confuse them.
That would be something.
It would be a decision.
Yeah, definitely. What about Zamboni Zombies? Did you notice anything that they could improve on? Anything they could change for the next game?
I mean, they had everything pretty locked down for this game. It was really just when Cyrus was out, because he was like parking his ass on the defensive third in a Leviathan and just shutting everything down. Very rarely did he allow anything to get behind him or allow any scary looking odd man breaks to really threaten the Zamboni Zombies goal. So I don't know if there's a whole lot that you would change about this. They also had some pretty solid subs, like IT came in and did pretty well. Pooter and Creature alternating on the front line, they both contributed pretty well.
Did Euripides get in there at all?
He did, second period, I believe.
Okay, awesome. And I think he did pretty solid. I mean, for a new beginner, right? A new person. So
I mean, PieRats didn't score while he was in there, so
yeah,
he's got that going.
And I think Zamboni Zombies actually listened to me from what I said in the previous podcast, which was you really want Cyrus to be your like main defensive, Leviathan. Like he should stay for at least 2 periods, because I know they were switching him out a lot. And I said in the previous podcast, I don't think they should do that, because right now Cyrus is their most solid player in the defense. So, and he can check.
And he's got good chemistry with Jack in net.
Yes, exactly. That's even better. So, like, if they really want to have that same defensive wall, they should keep Cyrus for at least 2 periods. Again, next game. Speaking of Jack, amazing performance in game 2.
Faced 16 shots, saved all of them. There were like 1 or 2 scary moments, but he saved the shot both times.
So Zamboni Zombies has a very nice defensive lineup and a good goalie. Like, those are the 2 things, in my opinion, that you need to have in a team to be, finalists, right? To be like contenders for the cup, to win the tournament. If you don't have a decent defensive lineup, or if your goalie sucks, right, you're always going to have that question mark. Like, can we pull through? Like, even if you score like 3 or 4 goals, you could always give up 5 goals, right? So, yeah, I'm really happy with Zamboni Zombies and their lineup.
It just remains to be seen what PieRats does going forward, if they try to just like make a couple ship changes to counteract what they're doing, or if they say, nope, it got us this far, we're not changing.
Right. That remains to be seen. I honestly think they're just going to stick around with their preferred lineup, which is the one that we saw in both games. I don't think they're going to make any changes. We'll see, though.
See, it's easy to write this off as a fluke because it was a 1-goal game, and it was 1 goal scored for the entire game. But at the same time, at the very least, if you have a sub, have them register a different ship.
Right. All right, so moving on now to the next season, MSHL Season 10. So the preseason is still underway. We still have another week of preseason games. So far, no new teams have actually been created. We're still waiting on the Prestige to add players to their team. It's just Kaiser-Za right now as the sole captain. It's empty, so we're hoping that soonish, the Prestige can get some players. Otherwise, we're going to have to rile up the troops and, get some more newbies and do a lot more campaigning, because we really need at least 2 more teams. From what I've talked to Big E about regarding like how many teams we actually want in MSHL, we need at least 2 more. So, Antsy, what are your thoughts on that?
I may know someone on the alias ZH-Yisna. So I'll check in with him. See if he wants to join the Prestige. See if he passes an alias check.
I mean, we do have at least 5 or 6 actual beginners in the free agents rosters. We have CZ530, Viradel, who is from Europe. He lags a bit, but he's okay as a terrier. We have Charaz, Rosai, Phantom, and Cigar. So that's interesting. And then on the free agents prefers the Euro Times roster, we have Mudvayne and Yitzy. So we do have enough for another team at least. It's just who is going to step up to be a captain, right? Maybe you can get your friend there. What was it? ZH?
GH Isna.
It is. Maybe he can captain a team. You know, put in a good word.
I mean, I guess it would be possible to just take all those guys, lump them together, and call them a team. But, I mean, there's a matter of will they get along and who's going to play goalie.
So, any players that you've seen in any MSHL game that are completely new to Hockey Zone that you think have stood out to you?
Well, okay, alias question. Is Trippin new?
Yes, he is new.
Okay, well, even though PieRats lost to Sentinels in that game that happened recently, Trippin did okay in that. 2 goals and an assist at the end of it. Just needs to work on the turnovers a little bit, and it could be pretty solid.
So are you talking about
Also,
season 10, or where are you, like, what are you talking about?
Season 10 preseason.
So he's not on the roster, so I'm thinking he was an NTS sub. Like, he's not on the roster for PieRats, is what I'm saying. So he's not an actual, like, player of theirs. So he may have just jumped in for that one game.
Let me double check that. Trippin is on Riptois.
Ah, so he was an NTS sub for PieRats,
Yes.
but he is actually on Riptois.
With his own team, Trippin has logged a game and a period and had 2 assists. And in that game where he NTS for PieRats, he had 2 goals and an assist.
That's awesome. By the way, speaking of Riptois, by the way, if you're wondering who Riptois is, it is a team that was created by Hulk to give the refugees of trench wars during their period of their tumultuous period of, what is it, like, they're having issues with there's a power struggle. We don't know anything about that in Hockey Zone, right? We don't have history of that.
I haven't set foot in trench wars in like 7 years.
But
so I don't know what's going on.
Basically, Hulk is giving them a home in Hockey Zone, and he created RIP TW as the team that's going to hold them together. And he invited a bunch of the Trench Wars people into that team. Now, I've watched them play, and they're actually pretty good. I don't know. I still don't know if the transition between Trench Wars and Hockey Zone, like if you go from Trench Wars to Hockey Zone, how difficult it is to adapt to the Hockey Zone settings. But from all the new players that I've seen that have come to the zone lately, the Trench Wars people have adapted the quickest. Like, whenever I see them play in a game, and I ask, what zone are they from? And people say, oh, he's from Trench Wars. I can immediately tell that they're from Trench Wars because they play so good, even as a beginner. Now, we got other people from like EG, SVS, other zones that are still remaining. And they don't play as well as the Trench Wars people. Now, I don't know if that's because the other zones are less active and maybe they don't play subspace as much. And the Trench Wars people play all the time, or used to anyway. And that's why they're better than most of the other newbies. But Riptois is a contender to be in the finals for me for Season 10 because of just how solid their lineup is.
Now, I can point out a couple other players for you.
Okay.
Also from the Sentinels Chunky Cooters game. I don't mean to just keep bringing up Sentinels games specifically, but last time we mentioned Sean, and in this game, He had 2 goals and 3 assists. And another thing I want to point out is both of the goalies in this, Glyde for the Coot Troop and Piss Mister for Sentinels, for newer goalies, they did okay. Glyde had 13 saves, 6 goals allowed. Piss Mister had 20 saves, 8 goals allowed. I know that's not great for like RSHL standards, but when you're a goalie who's just like starting some form of organized league play, a good threshold to try and hit for like a save percentage, I'd say, is like 2/3 of your shots, so 66.7% saves. That's like a solid number to start with, and then you can gradually build that up and maybe have a target of like 70 and 75, maybe shoot for 80 in a game.
Yeah,
but
go ahead.
yeah, generally encouraging performances from them.
Right. No, I agree 100%. And I'm not just saying that because Piss Mister is on my team, but like you said, Glyde had really decent saves, for an MSHL goalie, right? Like you said, in RSHL, I don't think they would be able to, save as many shots as they did in that game. But they're showing that in MSHL, with people of their level, they are the standout players, right? In goalie, at least. So yeah, Piss Mister's only going to get better. He's realizing now the many different things that he needs to change about his positioning when it comes to goaling. And I think it's helping him learn. So I'm glad that they're getting experience. I mean, this is what MSHL is all about, right? It's about giving them ice time and minutes to figure it out on their own so that they can get better. So yeah, I'm real happy for them.
Now, coming up for the following week, there are a few more preseason games, and of course, Game 3 of the Season 9 Finals. It's become a best of 3 between Zamboni Zombies and PieRats. What do you anticipate for Game 3?
So, I'm assuming that Zamboni Zombies is going to have the same lineup that they did in Game 2 when they started in the first period. It's going to be the exact same lineup, in my opinion. Why they would change it, I don't know. Like, it's not time to experiment. As for PieRats, like you said, they are going to make some changes. I don't know. My bet is they're just going to go with the same lineup as well, because it may have been just a fluke, just a bad night for Randall and Chaotic. We'll see, though. We'll see. I could be wrong.
I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Exactly.
At the same time, though, PieRats needs to do something about like being able to hold on to the puck, because Zamboni Zombies handily had the possession advantage that past game. According to the stats, 57%, 43% in favor of the Zombies.
Yeah, so something was happening in Game 2. I don't know if it started in Period 1 or Period 2, where Zamboni Zombies was like moving up the ice to pressure the PieRats players to give up possession, and PieRats didn't know what to do about it. So is that going to happen again in Game 3? I don't know. Maybe Lemonaire and another captain will talk to them about not doing that, because like so far they've been doing really good in MSHL Season 9 with possession. It was just that one night where for some reason they're just giving up the puck easily. Was it nerves? Was it stress? Was it just not having enough games in between each event? I don't know. Regardless of what happens, it's going to be weird seeing that. And then immediately after that is the Season 10 PieRats team playing a preseason game. Oh, really? I didn't even notice that. That's interesting. It's a completely different set of players, but still.
And Ollie.
And
Sig Smoke.
Okay, maybe not a completely new set of players.
No Linux this time.
Oh, that new up-and-comer Linux. He wasn't added for the new season. I wonder why.
Yeah, I don't know. Among the people in the preseason who have played at least one full game, who has the highest save percentage?
Like as a goalie or what?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I'd have to look at the stats, the goalie stats for season 10. Save percentage. I mean, that would be...
I can give you some choices if you want.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, these are all the people who would qualify. Mitch, Hulk, Glyde, Sig Smoke, and Piss Mister.
I'm going to say Glyde.
Close. He is third overall at a 69% save percentage. Nice.
Okay, who's second?
That would be Hulk.
What? That's awesome, dude. So you're telling me that Hulk...
86%.
Wait, so Hulk has better save percentage than Glyde? That is insane. How many games?
Granted, Glyde has played more minutes. He's at 105 minutes of goalie time, whereas Hulk has 58.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like the numbers are skewed because Hulk has less minutes on the ice as goalie. So, yeah, okay. Who's number one?
Granted, this person's only played one full game.
Okay.
But with a 90% save percentage.
Holy shit.
It's Mitch.
Wow. Hey, I'm not surprised at all. Mitch is a great goalie. In Draft League, the team that I'm on with Gold, Mitch has saved our asses a bunch of times. So, yeah, he's just returning to his groove, man. He used to goalie back in the day. So, he's a returning player. He's not a complete newbie, but he hasn't played in years.
You want some more Hulk-related stats?
Sure.
So, I told you he was second on save percentage.
Uh-huh.
He is also tied for second in the preseason for most goals. Third overall in the preseason for most assists. And second in the preseason for best plus minus.
Wow. So he's an all-around, like, solid player. Because he's fulfilling, like, every role, and he's doing it nicely. Goalie, player, like any position. Wherever you see Hulk, he's doing great. That's awesome, man.
Side note, you know who's third overall in plus minus?
Who?
Stayon.
Stayon? He's completely new, though. Like, absolutely new. I don't think he's ever played in a league in Hockey Zone, ever.
Well, he's making a positive impact.
That's awesome. Those are nice stats that I like to hear about stats like that. Those are good stats. But here's a question for you, Antsy, because you were talking about Mitch as being like number one in save percentage. So Mitch is a returning player, like I mentioned. What do you think should be the rule for returning players to MSHL? Because some people seem to think that returning players does not equal complete rookie, complete beginner, which means they're not new, which means they shouldn't be allowed in MSHL. Other people think that they should be allowed, but only with a grace period, like to see like where they actually fit. And if they are too good, they shouldn't play MSHL. But if they suck, they should be allowed to, derust in MSHL. So where do you stand in that spectrum?
That is so difficult to say because we don't have like a proper test or metric for seeing how much a returning player has retained from the period where they weren't playing before. Like, I know when I first came back, it took me a bit to get back into the groove. I mean, granted, I was on painkillers at the time. But still, it took getting used to like the speed of the game, how the settings had changed since I last played. But if you're putting the minutes in, you can adapt relatively quickly.
Right.
So, I don't know. That's a really tough thing to answer.
Like, you wouldn't outright just ban any returning player right out of the gate.
I mean, it's tough. Like, if they just came back and then immediately went into MSHL, that's one thing. It's another if they come back and then they're playing in pub, playing in scrim for like a couple weeks, a month, and then go to MSHL. Because then you have like some idea of where they are on the barometer of talent.
So
So
just,
that might just be something that you have to evaluate on a case-by-case basis.
I just heard another voice. Was it from like the void? What happened? Did you hear
Just
that?
put me
voice?
in the outer perimeter. That's fine.
Oh my god. Who is that? Hello?
Yeah, don't worry about it. So if I had to put in my 2 cents, I'll call it the Navi rule.
Okay.
You get 1 season in MSHL.
Mm-hmm.
You get Rookie of the Year,
Yeah.
and then you're done.
So the Scuzzy rule.
Basically this. So everybody's brought this up, but like in Beer League, when I returned in Beer League, I immediately got rated VP1 by Alastria, and people lost their shit because I played in the finals. I got most outstanding player or something, and I did it all with VP1 or like whatever. It was so low, people were like losing their shit. And then Scuzzy came back in MSHL Season 9, and the same thing sort of happened, where he was given a very low rating. I think he was considered a newbie, actually. So that's, like, completely new. And then he destroyed everybody else on the ice. So...
just looked it up. Scuzzy Sure Shot. 0 vet points.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, that's why it's so difficult for me to answer this question myself. It's because, you know, I've lived it, right? And I know how much of an impact a player can have if they return and they're really good. And also I've seen it with Scuzzy. So like, I don't want to ban players that return immediately, right? And go into MSHL because they might suck. Nobody knows if they will actually adapt quickly or not. Like, there have been examples of people coming back and still being rusty and sucking. And I don't want to name those people because it would suck to like be, you know, given that spotlight.
It's okay. I'm right here. You can say
it. So I'm just saying, like, what would you do if you were LC? Would you put up a rule where it gives them a grace period, and if they do suck, they can stay in MSHL? Or would you just outright ban them all so they don't even get a chance to show what they're worth?
If I could, I would have a grace period beforehand to, like, get them in pub games, get them in scrim games, and see how they're faring against the people who are currently active.
Okay. So not in MSHL, but like outside of MSHL.
Initially, yes.
Okay. How long would that grace period be in your mind?
A week or 2.
Okay.
Just enough to be able to, like, catch up to the current state of the game and the current state of the players in the game.
What if they join a team, like an MSHL team, during that point? And then you figure out that they're actually pretty good and they're adapting very quickly, more than the new people, right? Maybe they'll overtake the new people. What do you do then? Do you just say, well, sorry, my bad, you can't play?
See, this is where it becomes, like, really tricky to have, like, a set-in-stone system for this sort of thing.
I know, man.
I mean, I think that's what I'm saying. If you play a season, you get either Rookie of the Year, Most Outstanding Player.
So you would keep that person in MSHL for at least a season, and if they stand out and they win, you know, Rookie of the Year, whatever the heck, Returning Player of the Year, then they get kicked out of the league.
They automatically get a call up.
Right. Like, you can't return to this league. You're better than them. Okay.
MSHL Rookie of the Year, live wire.
You're the best player in that league,
Yeah.
so you stand out above everybody else. You get the call up to essentially the big leagues.
And it's not just
After-
returning players. You're saying any player.
Yeah. I mean, I just heard your Hulk stats. They're amazing.
So you're saying
Out of the
because
first
Hulk
couple
got
games.
Hulk got Rookie of the Year, he shouldn't be able to play MSHL again? I don't know if that's correct. That should be the rule.
I don't see why he should. He showed that he's at another level. And if he's playing above everybody else, then he deserves and should play at players at an equal level.
Antsy, do you agree? I think that's a little harsh.
I mean, he was. Jeez. It's a tough question. I mean, he was Rookie of the Year in a season where there were a ton of veterans in MSHL.
Yeah, that is true. And he's continuing to put in the good work. Like you've just mentioned his stats. So. But like, I personally would not kick someone who is new and just like showed they were Rookie of the Year out of the league. I would do it for a returning player, but not a complete newbie like Hulk.
The timing also plays a factor because right now, RSHL is in the playoffs. You can't join any teams for that.
Mm-hmm.
The draft beer league is started up, so the draft already happened for that. Waivers have already gone through for that, so who knows what team you would end up on. So really,
I mean, I think
MSHL is like
it's also
the
a poor choice
option.
of words. You're not getting kicked out. You're getting promoted.
You're graduating.
You're going to spin it in a different way so it doesn't sound like they're getting kicked out. The PR campaign.
I didn't get banned from MSHL. I graduated. And now I can't go back.
Yeah, that's right.
But on the same stance, right? If you take a break for, let's say, 5 seasons and you need to get your legs underneath you again, then yeah, you can go back into the MSHL and see where you stand.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with returning players. If they show their worth and they're better than any of the MSHL newbies, that they should be, quote unquote, graduated or promoted into RSHL so they don't play MSHL anymore. But a beginner, what if they want to have a second season in MSHL, right? Maybe their first season was good, but maybe they want to still compete with, somebody in MSHL. You just tell them no? Like, no, that was your only season. You did too good. Now you're out. I don't feel okay with that. So for returning players, yes. For complete beginners like Hulk, I give them, multiple seasons in MSHL. Now, if they get Rookie of the Year and completely slaughter the other newbies season after season, then we can talk. We can be like, okay, Hulk, I think you've had your fun. You've had your fill. So that's my stand on it.
The idea that a person named Hulk would be too strong for the competition.
Man, if I was Hulk, I'd be flattered to be talked about in this manner, like in circles where people are looking at the newbie league and they're like, man, this guy's too strong. As a complete beginner, I'd be flattered.
So maybe Rookie of the Year is not the right award to promote, but definitely most outstanding player.
Most outstanding player, yes. Or returning player. There's a new award that I created called Returning Player. Best returning player. And Scuzzy won that. So I'm not going to ban... so some people think I should just outright ban any returning player. Right out of the gate, so that they don't even interact with the newbies. That's what they're saying. Some of them want them gone, right? They shouldn't even mingle with the newbies. I don't know if that's true or not. Let's say...
I don't necessarily think that's true either, because
Yeah.
the player pool is so small that you kind of
Exactly.
need that.
So let's say that someone like Funk E returns, right? And he was really good when he played back in the day. But let's say that he is so rusty that he's at the level of, I don't know, AT, right? and he wants to play MSHL, I'd let him. I'd let him play for a season, you know? And if for that season he becomes most outstanding player and best returning player, sure, I can tell him, okay, you did your derusting, right? Like you use this season to derust. Now you should move on to the better leagues. You shouldn't be playing in MSHL anymore, right? That kind of player I can understand promoting and not letting them play again after that season. But Hulk, AT, like, I don't know. I feel bad telling them you're too good for this league. You know? Like, they're new. And they're being basically punished for being good at their level. It's like, no, that doesn't sound right to me. That sounds harsh. All right, well, I think we've come to the end of the podcast. We've discussed many things, including the up-and-coming players of Season 10, which let's keep an eye on them and, you know, maintain them in our radar and make sure that it's not just a fluke that they're standing out. I'm really excited for Season 10, guys. I don't know if you guys are, but Season 10 is really going to show, like, who from the beginner pool, the small beginner pool that we have in Hockey Zone, is actually going to stand out. And that really excites me. We're going to have star players that we've never heard about before in Season 10. And yeah, it's only going to get better. All right, guys. Well, thank you for listening. I'm Navi, your MSHL LC, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode. See you around.